Hi everyone, we're going to look at our house this week. As you can see, I've got it on the screen. We're going to talk about elevations, and remember all elevations are the views of the house. So when we draw this, we're going to draw a basic elevation of the front and the back and the right side over here. So what I do when I get started on it, and the reason why I chose the right side, by the way, is because there's more detail over here than there is on the left. And usually pick one of the two sides. Sometimes you draw all four elevations, but in this case we'll just do two. So one of the first things we want to do is we want to get started with just our overall dimensions and our overall size. Now remember, now we're working off of brick, okay, because we're drawing the outside of the house. So when we get started, one of the first things I want to do is I want to drop down. I want to go to wall, and I'm going to click. Y'all will have your wall, and I'm going to drag straight down here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to set me up a horizontal line to work off of, and I'm going to go ahead and draw me a vertical line. I'm sorry, and I'm going to go ahead and draw me a horizontal line. Now, I'm drawing it too long out this side, but that's fine. It doesn't matter, because I'll end up using that line actually. Drag straight down here. So now we've got something to work off of. When we draw elevations, we work in two directions. We work on our from our finished floor line up and our finished floor line down. Notice we've got a porch. So that means that the front of this house is up off of the ground. So that's something that we need to be aware of, okay? So the porch is not flush with the ground. So this line here, the first line I've got drawn, represents my finished floor. And that's straight off the book. That's what we need to know. So one of the first things that we want to do, and I'm going to go ahead and make this line longer this way. Right? Actually, I'm going to make it shorter for the time being. So right there is my finished floor. I'm going to offset down 24 inches. And this is going to be my grade line. Okay, at the front of the house. And now I'm going to drag this out a little bit. The grade line always needs to be longer than the floor line it is, because think about it, the yard goes on in both directions. So there's that. Now I can take this line and I can drag it down, because we know the side of the house is going to hit. Okay. So there's what we've got just to get started with. Now for the actual box or the wall of the house, well, our walls, we're using standard height walls, which would be 8 feet. So I'm going to do offset 96 inches, which is the same thing. So there's the height of my wall. So real quick, look how this thing starts coming together. My porch, I can click here and drag down. So this is the edge of my porch. Same thing here. There's the edge of my porch, just that quick. So see, it's really starting to take shape in a hurry. So our next thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to look at our windows and our doors. Standard door height is 6'8". So I'm going to offset 6'8" and again it's off the floor line, so there's that. And our windows, the top of the window is at the same height as the top of the door, so that makes it really simple for us to use. We can zoom in and see the heights of our windows. They're 5 feet tall, and our doors, like we said, are 6'8", so they're going to be, if they're 5 feet tall and 6'8", they're 1'8" off the floor is what they are at 5 feet tall. So on these windows, the tops of them will be the same height as the door, and like I said, they're going to be, will come down 5 feet. Now, we can use the blocks that we've got and put these in. That is, of course, the easiest way. These are double hung windows. So if I go to Insert, and I go to Insert again here, and I'm going to Blocks from Other Drawings. So now I'm going to search a little bit and see what I can find, and this popped up on the other screen. Sorry about that. So, here's some of the stuff that I've already loaded in for y'all. So I'm going to load some more in for you too. I'm going to go all the way out and get this out of my P drive because I know it's there. But I will, like I said, I'll put this into your folder so y'all can get to them, so you won't have to worry about it. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a window that is a 36-inch window elevation, and I need a 3050 elevation. So here's one. Let's see what that looks like. Well, that's a good-looking window. And then I need, I'd love to have a 3050 with shutters. Oh, there it is. Ain't that pretty? That's nice. So that's the one I'm going to put in. I'm going to say Open. Okay, I'm going to drag it in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to hover right here, and then I'm going to see if it'll grab it. And it's not going to. So I'm just going to drop it in for the time being. And then what I will do, because I had it from the center point of that window, I'm just going to come up and I'm going to draw me a line down like that, make sure I've got it in the right place, I may have done really well. So, you know what? I did. I got lucky. I got it on there first try. So there's that window. Pretty slick, pretty easy, okay? Now, I've got a double window here, so it'll be the exact same thing. I'm going to go out. It'll take me, thank goodness, back to the very same place. I need a double window, and I'd like to have a pair of shutters. So windows, elevation, 3050, elevation, 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 pair. There we go. Open. And again, come straight down. Let's do it again. All right, right there. Drop them there. See, now that one, the shutter is going to fall behind the edge of the door, or the edge of the porch. But that's okay, because the window is still on the porch. Now, over here I've got the exact same size window. So what I can do is I can go into copy, and I can copy from, I'm going to use that point on that. I'm going to come straight across and use that point on that and drop it into place. Just that easy. Look how quick and simple that is, okay? Now I need my front door, so I'm going to go and browse again. And now what I'm looking for is my doors. So I'll scroll down. There's some doors, bifold doors, double sink, all that good stuff. I need a door that I can see visible. So, you know, these are all just, you know, as far as doors go. There's my garage door. Okay, but what I'm looking for is I want a door, barn style. There's a good looking door. Here's one with 12-inch glass lights. That's not a bad door, full glass there. Okay, I'm going to cancel for just a minute because I want to go and look and see what I've got room for. I've got room for just a single normal door. So if that's the case, then when I scroll down, I need just like a full glass door, and I'm going to say open. I'm going to drag it in. Now this one I am going to just drag it in and drop it for the time being. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw me a line straight down. Okay, now I'm going to move this into place. I'm going to get it at its midpoint. I'm going to zoom in on that line right where they cross, which is right there, and drop it into place. Okay. Now if you notice, I don't have any trim on this door. I just didn't create any when I made the actual door. I need some trim around it. So what I would do is I would come in and I would go into my poly line. I would hover here and drag over. I need to zoom in a little bit. Hover here and drag over and go 3 inches off that door. And this is one when you create it, you'd say, you know what, I need to make this and I need to fix it. So I would eventually fix this and make it right. I can come up here and grab the top of my window trim, come across. See, there's 3.3. I need to be 3.6, which is 42 inches. And then back down. Okay. The other thing that I need is I need a doorknob. Notice I don't have a doorknob. So I'm going to go into diameter. I'm going to hover here. I'm going to drag that, and I'm going to tell it to go up 36 inches. And I'm going to tell it to put a 3-inch doorknob on there. And now I'm going to move that doorknob to the center of this piece of wood right here. Okay. So I'm just going to draw me a line from here to here. And it's easier that way to center it. Now I can grab it here. I can go up to the midpoint. And now I can delete the line. So see there, much better looking door. Okay. So other than my porch, there's my features real quick on the front of the house. Pretty simple. So what I need to do now, like I said, is put in my porch and get it in. And the plan will always look better the more detail you put in. That's just a fact of life. It's just according to how much detail we want. So what we've got is we've got piers and columns that we're going to put in here. Okay? So we need to think about that. And we also need to think about our roof line. So see, this thing starts getting a little more difficult as we go along. So what I want you to do between now and when you come to class is I want you to draw the elevation and the doors and windows on the side. So we're going to have one on the front, one on the back, one on the right side. So there's that one. That's pretty simple, okay? And then like I said, we'll do some more stuff here when we come in during the week. So let's do this one now. So let's do our right side. So what I do with it, now if you notice, this one's turned sideways. Remember, it's got that south, north, east, west deal. So that's what we've got going on here. There's a couple of ways of doing this. I I have gone to the extreme of doing this, just coming in here and copying everything right there and dragging it out here like this, okay, and then rotating it. And what I do is I come in and grab that corner and I rotate it 90 degrees. And look, now I've got my side turned the right direction so I can work. So I can do the exact same thing. I can come in and draw a line. And what I'm going to do, this top of grade is important right now, because I'm going to say that my bank for this house starts falling right at the edge of the house. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to hover here. Okay, I'm going to draw me a little line out here. Now notice I've got that line longer, so I'm going to take and back this line up a little bit just to get it out of the way, because I want to make this one a little bit longer. Okay, so there's that. And now I can do the exact same thing on the other end of the house. But this time we've got an interesting little issue right here. We're going to draw this one long. Look how long I made that, okay? Because remember, this line here is the grade line. We've got to put our floor line in, which is here. And I'm just going to hover over and drag across. There's my floor line. Now, our basement floor, you figure roughly a foot for our flooring system and in the basement floor. So it's 9 feet down, offset 9 feet. So there's the floor of our basement. And we're going to say that the grade comes out right at the floor. So we can draw us a line out here. Okay. So now this line can back up. Okay. There's that. Back to our first floor again. Here's the top of our wall. Hover here. Here's the top of our windows. Okay. So pretty simple. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to project these window lines down. The reason why I said top of windows and not top of doors is because you know what? There are no doors on this end of the house. See, just windows. So there's where they're going to go. Now here's the fun part about this. All I have to do is I can use the copy command this time. I'm going to zoom in, grab this at the midpoint. I'm going to copy it to here and copy it to here. And there's those two windows. Just that simple. Okay. So the only other thing I need to do as far as my walls and windows here is I need to put this rolling heel in here, because it doesn't need to be straight down. What we want to do is roll just a little bit. So I'm going to use a poly line. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drag in. And I'm going to actually give it a foot. I'm going to say 12 inches. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and go all the way to the corner like that. And then I'm going to do what's called a P-edit, P-E-D-I-T, P-edit. And I'm going to click on the polyline, and I'm going to say do a spline. And if you notice, it put a little curve right there for me. Okay? Everybody see it? It curved it right there instead of leaving that straight. So now what we could do is we could come in here and see that line right there. We could do another P-edit and click on this one and say join it to this one. Okay, so now they're joined. And now click on that, and we could say spline again. Uh-oh, look what happens. Not good. That got it above our floor line. So let's undo that. Okay, let's leave it square down here at this corner. Okay, we're going to leave this line here for the time being just so we can see what we've got. I am going to go ahead and shorten these down to wall height. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to shorten these down to wall height. Okay, so there is the end of our house done. Okay, now the last thing we've got to do, of course, is the back of the house. So very same thing. I could do it again. I can say copy, come across here and grab the whole back of the house like that, drag it over here, and get it about however far away I want it. So I'm going to say right about there. And watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to rotate this puppy. But when I rotate, I'm going to end up moving it too. So I'm going to rotate it first. Just going to sort of grab anywhere, and I'm going to rotate it at 180 degrees. Okay. I can leave it up here, or I can move it down, lined up down here. It really doesn't matter. Now this is the back of the house. So again, my grade line is going to be here. And I'm going to make it longer than the house. Very same thing. I'm going to zoom in, get the corner of the wall, drag down, zoom in, the corner of the wall, and drag down. So there's the edges of my walls. I can again use this line. So here's the top of my first floor. Click right there and drag across. Okay. So that's going to be an important line for me right there because that's the top edge of my house. Okay. I'm going to need the floor line. So I'm going to drop it in. Okay, right there. And remember, we said the grade line on the back of the house and the floor are going to be exactly the same. So that's all we need there. Okay, we're in good shape. The other thing we do need is we do need a line up here representing the grade line above because we do have a hill up here. Okay? And we're going to say that it rolls away the same on each end. So there we go. All right. And I'm going to tell you something. I did mess up right here. I didn't need this. I needed my foundation plan. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to go over here to this. How about this? Again, I'm going to make a copy of what I need, which is just the back of the house. Hey, I forgot that basement window. How about that? Cool. I'm going to go ahead and get that much of it. Okay. I'm going to grab it there and I'm going to slide it over here. I'm going to move it up here for the time being. Okay. So I can rotate it. Just makes it easier. There we go. Now I'm going to move it into place with everything else. The reason why I need this is I forgot about that window when I did the foundation on the edge. So that window is 4 feet back from the edge and it's a 3030 window. So if I come back from here, I need to offset 6'8". So there's my line. I'm going to drag it out longer. And look what I'm going to do. It's 4 feet to the edge. So I'm going to drag it out 4 feet, 48 inches. That may not be enough, but for right now I'm going to leave it there because I need to go and I need to insert again. I can grab it from here since my insert's open. And I need a 3030 window elevation. There it is. I'm not going to use shutters on this one. Okay. So I'm going to click. I'm going to drag it in. And I'm just going to drop it. The reason why I'm going to drag it in and drop it, and again, here's where I could have made this longer because I know I need to measure this. I just need to know where the center point is, but I am going to measure it just to find out. So if I measure, where is that 3030 from? Is it right there? No, that's 36. Ah, it's right there. Okay. So what I want to do, if I go back and look, the top of my window is what's lined up. Do you notice that these windows don't have the trim around it like these do? I need to go back and put some trim around these windows. So we'll do that too here in just a minute, okay? This window's the same way. It's got some trim around it, which is good. So what I want to do is I want to grab this line. We said it was 4 feet. I want to stretch it out another 1.5 feet. That's half of 3. And now I can go move this window from this point to that end point. And right there's where that window is going to go. Okay? So like I said, I'm not going to put a shutter on that. Okay? Some people don't put shutters on the end of the house, period, because they think it makes it look busy. You know, we can go in here and look and see, but I don't think I've got a 3030 window with shutters. See, I've got 3030, 303, 3050 window with shutters. And I've got a pair, but I don't have a 3030 with shutters. Okay? So we're going to cancel that. So that's got that fixed. Let's go back out here real quick and fix our trim on this window. Now, how can we do that? Well, there's a couple of ways, but the way we could cheat is this. Let's copy this window and just drag it down. And by doing that now, I'm going to explode this. Okay? So the reason why, I'm going to use this up here. I'm going to say copy. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to do it from the end of the shutter and drop it into place. Now I can come down here and I'm going to do the same thing with this. I'm going to copy this from the end of the shutter to here. Okay? Now all I have to do is go into my mirror command, and because that's a block, all I'm going to get is the edge of that. I'm not going to get anything else. I'm going to use the center point, drag down like that, then I can go into trim and click and select all, and look at that. That quick. Okay? Now I can copy everything that I added to my window. and use that shutter as a guideline. Take it over to there. While I'm at it, let's take it over to here and to here. And look, my windows just got a whole lot better looking. And I did that just by utilizing this, okay? So, pretty neat little trick, don't you think? So that takes care of that. Now the end of my house is done. Now we have still got a lot of work to do. We've got to add porches and decks and all that good stuff, okay? So now let's go out here and let's do this one. So we've got an 8070 garage door. Now notice everything's turned upside down. That's fine for now. We really don't care. It's okay. But now we do have to have those upstairs windows. I'm using this for the downstairs. I'm going to go back and use that upstairs that we had a minute ago, but just not right now. Okay, so I need to put in a garage door. I'm going to give the center of the garage door right here. I'm going to drag me a line down. I'm going to make it extra long so I know where it's at. Come in here and do the same thing for my door. Ooh, look, can't find the midpoint because there's not anything to choose from. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go line. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go line, draw me a line across, then draw me a line down. Kind of a roundabout way to get to what I want, but it'll work. Okay? And then these are all 3030 windows. So again, I'm going to go line. I'm going to grab the middle of the glass because I know that's right where I want it. And then I'm going to do it one more time right here. Okay, and now the trick is just getting everything where you want it. Well, I know I want, this is one of my favorite doors. I always use this door when I draw. Barn style elevation, open. I'm going to drag it in. There it is. I need some trim around it. See, I drew these doors quick, and I wish I hadn't, but I did. So let's move this. Grab it by the center point. The good part is at least I know where it's going to go. So when I bring it in, oh no, guess what I did? I didn't put my door height here. So I'm just going to park it here for the time being. Now I'm going to offset 6'8" up. There's where it goes. So now let's move this from here to here in order to be perfect, and it is. Okay. And now I can really cheat. I can grab this window here. I can go copy that window. Remember what our point was. It's here. Let's drag over. Let's drop here. Let's drop here. There's my two windows. Pretty quick, pretty simple. Okay. So the last thing we got to do is we got to put in our garage door. Let's go searching for it. We know it's there because we saw it just a minute ago. Garage door. Oh, barn style. Ain't that pretty? So let's use that one. So open. Drag it in. And where's it going to go? I've got it by the corner. So I'm just going to drop it there. And I'm going to move it over 4 feet. And it should center up. There we go. It's centered up. Beautiful. Look. And now notice this door is taller than this one. It's going to be because it's 7 feet tall. Okay. So let's go back and look at our front door. We've just got 3-foot trim, 3-inch trim all the way around it. We added that, remember? So I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click on the top corner of the door so I can remember it real easy. Zoom in, top corner of the door. Hey, there we go. Trim around the door. So now we can get rid of these lines. Okay, there we go. So that's got that taken care of on that floor level. So I'm going to delete that long line. All right, pretty, isn't it? Okay, so now, this was our floor level for upstairs. Let's offset it, 6'8". There we go. So now we need the upstairs. We're going to get rid of this. Delete. Now we need this back. I could have done this the first time, but it's okay. Need the back of the house, don't I? All right, let's take it. I'm going to drag it over here, get it close. Let's do our rotate. There we go. Now let's go and line it up. So, again, what do we need? We need a sliding door. We need windows. We got several of them, don't we? Okay. So that's a 3030, that's a 3030, this is a 3050. So we need to move them into place. So we've got the 3050, we need the 3030. Now 3050 that we've got has got shutters on it. We're not going to put shutters on the back of the house. So what we'll do is we'll use one of those and explode it and fix it. Okay? So let's draw some lines down. So from the center of the glass, down. Let's go in here again. Center of glass. Sometimes you got to zoom in tight. I'm going to stop these long on purpose because I want to know the difference between my 3030 and my 3050. Okay, and this is a 4016 fixed panel. We might end up having to draw that. Again, middle, drag down. I'm going to stop it right there. That's going to be really different. So let's go ahead and put in some windows. So 3030s, we got them right here. All right, so let's go copy, grab that one, make sure you get it in the right place. Click it there, click it there. There's them two windows. I'm going to go ahead and delete these two lines and get rid of them, okay? We also know we've got the sliding door in here. I'm going to put it in here also. I'm going to do something interesting with it, though. I'm going to drop in my line long now, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to drop in another one right beside of it. And it's going to be 3 feet away because I can't remember if my sliding door is done by the edge or the center. Okay, so we said we needed the 3050. So again, we'll click here and we'll say copy. Get it at the top of the window, drag in, drop. Okay, so now like we said, the shutters, we forgot about that trim, didn't we? So let's copy the whole thing. Let's be a little more cautious. Let's click, grab the whole thing, grab there. Now let's drag over. And look what happened. I've got that one in the way. So I'm going to stop here. I'll just delete that one. Now I can move this one. Pretty simple. There to here. Okay, so that's in the right place. So we are going to have to explode this. So let's explode it. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the shutters. There goes that one. Let's get rid of this one. And we know we've got a line at the top that we're going to have to get rid of too. Okay. You can see the double line right there. There it is. There it is. All right. And now what do we want to do? Well, we sort of need to join up our window trim, don't we? So let's go to the join command because they're in the same plane. Let's click that line, and it should join. Let's click this line, and it should join. And look, pretty windows. Got them back. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, okay? Poof, gone. All right. So there's that one gone. Now all I need, like we said, was this little window and then my sliding door. So let's go see if I've got anything like that out there. Don't know that I do. So I'm going to scroll down and see what we've got. Full glass doors, door bifold, up. It doesn't look good, does it? Okay. So what I may end up having to do is I may end up having to make my patio doors. I'm going to check in this one just to be safe. There's that barn style door, but no, we don't have anything in there. Okay. Let's look in this one just in case. 3050, garage doors, full glass, shutters. Nope, we don't have one. So we're going to have to make that thing, which is not really that big of a deal. Okay. So even with the little window, we don't have it. So let's get out of it. I can use this to create my little window with. And actually it may be better to use this because this one's already exploded and trimmed out a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to say copy. We're going to copy all of this, take it from here over to here. Okay. Now we need to fix it and stretch it and clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to explode it again because I've still got some parts all tied in there. All right, I'm going to explode it again until I get down to just single lines. Great. There we go. So now we've got single lines in there. So now what I want from the top of the window down, we need to go back up here and look at our note. And our note said that it was a 4016, so a 1.5 foot window. So I'm going to offset 18 inches, because that's 1.5 feet. Okay. So right there, I'm going to sneeze. Hold 1 second, please. Excuse me. So there's the bottom of our window, and it's 4 feet long. Well, remember, this window is 3 feet wide, right? So from here to here is probably 3 feet, and it is. So I'm going to offset 6 inches each way. So that window, the overall size of that window, let's go in and let's clean it up. I'm going to use my fillet like y'all seen me done before. Okay, so there's that. Still looks kind of wonky, don't it? Okay, so I'm going to take and I'm going to do some quick movement here. I'm going to move this line from here out, because that's where that needs to go. I'm going to click this line. I'm going to move it from here out. Okay, so see, now it's going to start taking a little bit of shape for us pretty quick. And then what I need to do is I need to figure out what else I want to keep. I'm not going to keep that bottom line right there. So I'm just going to delete it. Okay. I do like these lines here. These are really, really, really handy. Now remember, we've got this line here the right length. So let's do this. Let's go to mirror. Let's mirror these two lines here straight down. So there's that. Look, that kind of cleans that up, doesn't it? Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my stretch mode. I'm going to stretch. I need to get all of this. I'm going to stretch there. I'm going to stretch it from there out to there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'll stretch all of that from here. I'm using the edge of the old window to the edge of the new window. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of these middle lines here. Just delete them. And look what all of a sudden comes in. Let's come in here and fill it. Click, 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 click. And let's do the same thing here. Click, 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 click. And look what we've got all of a sudden. So now let's come in and let's put our window sill down here, all this good stuff. So let's go move, because we don't need them anymore after this. Let's move all of this stuff right here. And let's just grab it anywhere. I'll grab it from the midpoint, drag up to the midpoint. There it is. Okay. We know it's going to end up being bigger than the window by a couple of inches, so I'm going to go stretch. Grab this in. I'm going to take it to the edge. I'm going to do stretch again. Take it from the edge and go out 2 inches. Same thing on this end. So I stretch it to it, and then I stretch it 2 inches more. There we go. So what have we got left to do? Well, just basically clean it up. Let's drag this line up to the edge here. Drag this line up to the edge here. Let's connect these two. Let's get rid of that line. Let's get rid of this. So see, this is over, if we look at our house, this is over the tub. It's a real tall window up top just to let some light in is all it is. Okay? Pretty neat, huh? So there's that. Simple, nothing to it, straightforward. Now then, how are we going to get this in here? Well, guess what? I'm going to go over here and cheat. I'm going to use this front door that I've got. Remember, I didn't have any trim around it, but I'm going to utilize the whole thing. I'm going to say copy. I'm going to copy every single bit of it. Okay, I'm going to grab it right here, because remember, it's a 6-foot door. I grabbed it at the edge, drop it into place. Pretty, huh? So now what am I going to do? Watch this. I'm going to go into stretch. I'm going to grab the whole edge of my trim, and then I'm going to use the base of the door here. I'm going to click here, stretch it, and I'm going to stretch it 3 feet over. And now guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go mirror. I'm going to mirror that door around like that. I'm going to get rid of this doorknob, because there's no doorknobs on patio doors. Pretty good representation, huh? Pretty neat to be able to do that, okay? So that's pretty much all we have to do to get that door in place. All right, so I will create blocks for both of these, so they'll be there. And that's our elevations, okay? So that's what I want y'all to do between now and when you come to school.